Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the bot lane. I saw several people requesting me to talk about wave control, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So first of all, let's define wave control. The definition of wave control would be something as simple as managing or setting up minion waves. And its aim is to put the enemy at a disadvantage. How exactly it works and why you would do it and all these other questions you might have will hopefully all be covered by these videos. And this brings me to my next point. Wave control is a very broad and extensive topic to talk about, so I decided to split it up into several subcategories, each in one separate video. The order I thought would be best is just to do it chronologically, and that's also why this video is about wave control for the level 2 Powerspike, because, that's the first thing you worry about when you get into lane. How do I tackle these first few waves? Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this will be followed by wave control before backing in the next video, and that's split up into backing when ahead, when equal or when the lane goes even, and when behind. And after that, we'll look at how to set up waves after killing a turret and before roaming, and then maybe we can also address late game wave control if you want to, since that has changed with the new season, specifically with the minion changes in patch 5.23. So maybe if you want to look at that, we can do that for sure. Alright, so let's look at the level 2 Powerspike, starting with its broad concept. And that's something along the lines of you want to hit level 2 before they do, basically, with the aim to either acquire a Powerspike or deny an enemy Powerspike. And I guess it's at this point that I should probably define Powerspike quickly for those who don't really know what exactly that means. And I've tried to define it here by just saying it's a sudden increase in power. And to specify, that could either be through the number of abilities you have over your enemies or your champion stats. So, for example, the level 2 Powerspike obviously would come to mind first, because you want to hit level 2 before the enemies do, and that gives you an advantage in the number of abilities you have. You have 2 while the enemies have 1, and also an advantage in champion stats, simply through leveling up. Now, another example for a Powerspike would be your level 6 Powerspike when you acquire your ultimate. You also get a boost in champion stats, but obviously the biggest thing is that you have an advantage in the number of abilities you have, specifically your ultimate, which gives you a huge advantage over the enemy. And the last example I would like to give you is just through the purchase of large items. So for example, if Lucian finishes his second item, so his attack speed item, and has 40% CDR, that's a huge champion stat power spike for him there. So that's another nice example. Now, why is this sudden increase in power important? It might give you kill pressure, you may blow summoners of your enemy laner, or just acquire another small advantage like pop a health potion or something. So it's overall important because it will always give you some advantage. Or as I said, it's also useful to deny the enemy power spike, because they then kind of cancel each other out if you're both level 2. This will also be more clear if we look at the clips I'm gonna show you guys shortly. Now, what does this have to do with wave control? Well, obviously, through killing minion waves, you gain XP. So through killing minion waves quicker than the enemies, you acquire level 2 quicker. And that's what the basic wave control concept is. You just kill the first wave and the melees of the second wave quicker than the enemies. And hopefully this will be more clear by the clips I'm going to show you. Now, before we get into more advanced level 2 Powerspike wave control, I'm just going to make what I just said clear by showing you guys a clip where I'm playing Misfortune and my support is Janna, and I'm versus Jinx Leona lane. Now, you don't need much matchup knowledge to know that Jinx Leona has an insane level 2 power spike. If they land a stun on you, followed by chompers and a slow, you're probably dead. So the main objective for me here is just to deny them their power spike by acquiring level 2 before they do. So let's look at the clip. Alright, so as we can see here, my support and I are just on our way into lane. We just pulled for our jungler Lee Sin, and yeah, as said, I'm against Jinx Leona. So yeah, you see me just hammering away at the minions. Jinx is attacking the front minions too, not as much as I do, which isn't good. You really have to be hammering away at those, but she's attacking them, which is fine. But I'm doing it more quickly, getting that auto attack reset off my Q. So that Jinx really didn't play it perfectly, and maybe Leona should have E'd the wave or something, because I really pushed quickly with that double up. Yeah, so Jinx could have pushed harder overall, but this is where it gets a bit more exciting. I'm hammering away on the melees of the second wave while they just engage on my support. So let's pause it here. We see them both go onto my support while I'm on the third melee minion of the second wave. Janna can just shield most of their damage, they deal almost 0 damage to my support, and suddenly we acquire level 2 before they do, so we successfully deny their power spike, because they randomly engaged onto my support at level 1, even though they should have been hammering away at these melee minions of the second wave, as I had been doing to acquire that level 2 power spike. So simply because they engaged onto us way too early, we're not hammering away at the minions and waiting out their level 2 power spike, we denied them and got ourselves a safe lane there, because level 2 Jinx Leona is really hard to deal with when you're still level 1. Now we'll go a bit more into detail about how exactly to control these first 1.5 waves. You have to find a balance between over pushing and a safe level advantage, is what I jotted down here, and I'm just going to explain to you what this means. The exact way of wave control differs from game to game. Now, let's look at one specific matchup. Let's say you're Sivir and you're up against a Vayne. Sivir can push really well, especially at level 1 if she levels W first, but Vayne can't. So in that matchup, you really don't want to blindly attack away at the wave, because that will result in an overpush. The second minion waves will crash at a spot that is too near to their turret, and that will prevent you from being able to do anything. You will be standing there with your cool level 2 power spike, but you won't actually be able to do anything because they'll be just safely farming under their turret and you can't engage onto them, even though you have successfully pushed quicker than they have, but you actually overpushed that time. You still want to be aiming to push noticeably harder than the enemy though, to ensure a safe level advantage. Let me explain what that means. If you kill the third melee while they haven't quite finished killing it, you're going to get level 2 first, but they might get an unexpected level 2 mid-fight if that third minion of yours dies mid-fight. So you kind of have to find a balance, and that just comes with practice and matchup experience. So keep on practicing. I am, however, of course, going to make this clear by showing you another clip where I actually make that mistake of over-pushing, so you can see what I mean by. Alright, so as you can see, I'm playing Sivir, and my support is Morgana in this clip, and we're playing against Lucian Braum, so we really have that pushing advantage level 1 with my W. But as you can see, I'm hammering away on the minions way too hard, actually miss a CS because of that. I don't wait out an auto attack because I desperately want to go for 2, and then I actually miss the minion. So we have 2 full health ranged minions going into their wave, and that would actually freeze near to their turret, which would result in an overpush, so I make a mistake there. This mistake results into the minions crashing way too near to their turret, so at this point it really doesn't seem like we're going to be able to engage at level 2 because they can just sit near their turret and keep farming. And if we look at this screenshot, this is exactly what Lucian has to do. He can't hit level 2 before us. For that, we've pushed too hard. But what he can do is kill these 3 ranged minions as late as possible to ensure that my second wave, which is at the bottom tower right now, crashes at the spot where his wave is right now, so he can continue farming safely. But that's where he makes the mistake, because he actually hammers away at the ranged minions of my wave, and that actually pushes the wave back to a spot where we actually have a useful level 2 advantage, so we kind of both throw away the lane there. And as you can see here now, we acquire level 2, hit a binding, and that's already the advantage. He has to pop a health pot, I don't, and we already have a huge lane advantage at that point. And that's most probably also how most of your solo queue level 2 power spikes will go. Even if you played really well, hit the power spike at a perfect spot, and played really well, you probably won't have that synergy with your support, so you most probably won't kill them, but even these small advantages like having a health pot advantage can mean tons in the bot lane. Finally, I'm going to talk about a very situational wave control you can pull off. You have to be in a disadvantaged matchup for it to even be necessary, and with disadvantaged I just mean you can't push as well at level 1 than your enemies can. Also, you can only do it if you're not needed by a jungler for a pull. And this clip I'm going to be showing to you is actually from All Stars. It's the 1v1 between Kasing and Doublelift. Kasing is playing Karma, and Doublelift is playing Kalista. And if we look at the champions, we can already see that Karma is at a huge pushing disadvantage compared to Kalista. So It's really important for Kasing to go for this play, and obviously there's no jungler he has to pull for too, so yeah. Before we look at the clip, I'm just going to explain to you what this play is and how you pull it off. So before the waves crash, you actually walk up to the enemy wave and you take aggro from the first enemy melee minion. That results in it following you and trying to attack you, and that results in 6 of your minions attacking the enemy wave, while only 5 of the enemy minions attack your wave. And if you do it well and pull the enemy creep into your minion line, it will additionally be focused down quickly by your minions. So you will be in a minion advantage after you pull that play off. So let's look at how Kasing does it. Alright, so as we can see, Kasing is actually already auto-attacking the first melee minion and pulling it into his wave, so he's actually weaving auto-attacks in between to kill it even faster, and that actually, for a short amount of time, leaves him in a situation where he is 1 minion up of double it. Alright, that does it for this episode of the bot lane. I talked about wave clear today, specifically about the level 2 Powerspike, and next time's the bot lane episode will be about wave control aspect of backing, so look forward to that. And as always, leave discussion stuff, suggestions, requests, anything in the comments so I can read it and enjoy it or not enjoy it, but I will read it, so probably also reply, and see you.